Hi, I'm Nicky and you're listening to the Let's Talk About podcast. Today is International Women's Day and I wanted to mark it with something a bit different. I wanted to talk about a letter that's currently on display. It's not just any letter, it's Mary Queen of Scots' final letter and it's at Perth Museum. I really recommend it. It's free to visit and it's there until the 26th of April. This is significant because it hasn't been on public display north of Edinburgh in modern times, and it's only there for a matter of weeks. Standing in front of it, the first word that came to my mind was impressed, but that feels a little bit under-exaggerated for the experience of actually seeing it. It was written in 1587. And I kind of was just standing there staring at it, thinking about how long ago that was and how unrecognisable the world is now compared to that. And yet it's there in a room in Perth in 2026. The preservation alone is extraordinary given its age. The letter looks remarkably well kept. You wouldn't believe that it's that intact for something that old. I think the thing that struck me most about it was the handwriting, how neat it is and careful and deliberate. And when you consider that Mary wrote that in the early hours of the 8th of February 1587, knowing in just a few hours she'd be executed, that neatness feels weird. It feels odd to try and process that. Her hands clearly weren't shaking and she seemed composed the way the letter is structured and written. It opens with the words, "I am to be executed like a criminal at 8 in the morning." And she wrote that in the middle of the night knowing that that was true and probably the last thing she was ever going to write. Whatever you think of the political complexities of her life, and obviously there were many, this was a woman facing the most terrifying thing imaginable with extraordinary dignity. You can actually listen to the letter at the exhibit as well, and the room is dark. I mean, it's a neurodivergent person's dream. It's quiet and it's dimmed apart from the letter, which is in a case in the middle of the room. And I'd encourage you to listen to it. It plays in French, in Scots and in English. And hearing it out loud gives you a completely different take on experiencing the letter, hearing somebody's words, hearing somebody speak her words. And Perth is actually a really fitting place for this exhibition. Mary had deep connections to this region, and during her reign she spent time at Fotheringhay Castle, which I also recommend you visit. It's a really, really cool place to go. Most significantly, she was held prisoner in Lochhead Castle for 11 months, right here in Perth and Kinross, where she was forced to sign her abdication from the throne before making a daring escape under the cover of darkness. And after that escape, she made her way to the south of England and she never visited Scotland again. If the letter isn't enough for you, and it really is, but there's just a short walk away to AK Bell Library in Perth, and there's a linked display featuring other National Library of Scotland treasures. You can see Burns' poem Lament of Mary Queen of Scots and early manuscripts from Liz Lochhead's iconic play Mary Queen of Scots Got Her Head Chopped Off. Both are on loan from the National Library and both show how Mary's story has echoed through the Scottish culture for centuries. So on this International Women's Day, I suppose I wanted to say that history is full of women whose stories were controlled by others, whose endings were decided more powerfully by the people around them. Mary Queen of Scots is one of the most famous examples of that, and yet what that letter reveals is a woman who, right at the very end of her life, at the very last night, she refused to be diminished. She picked up her pen and she wrote clearly and calmly, and she said what she needed to say. I find that remarkable, and I think if you visit it, you will too. So go to Perth Museum and see the letter. It's free, it's extraordinary, and it's only there for another month till the 26th of April. I'm Nicky, and you have been listening to the Let's Talk About podcast. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please share it if you did. Thank you for your company, and I'll see you next time.